C2 Wrestling Podcast. We are back. CTD and Patty V, the dynamic duo, back together, rocking the LSU hat in memory of Jalen Mills' tenure with the Philadelphia Eagles, winning their first Super Bowl in franchise history, of course. Always great times with LSU player on the Philadelphia Eagles. But we're not here to talk about football. That's the old days. We're here to talk about wrestling. There's plenty to get into. But Patty V, as you know, we start the podcast the same always. How you doing?
My man, Mr. CTD, CDC, whatever we like to call you in these streets. It's been a while, my friend. It's been a long time.
It
Got an
has.
itch right now. I feel like it's like 2023 right now. Us recording our old podcast, Slants and Rants. But no, I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be back with you. Thank you for inviting me on. SummerSlam's just a week and a half away, which we will be together. First time in person in about a year and a half, probably, right?
Uh,
2 years we spent
New
together.
Year's, yeah, New Year's
Not the
of
past year before
2024.
that.
Yeah, that was
That was a crazy New Year's party we went to, man.
dude. I my ears are still ringing from that
Yeah.
party. That was
Uber eating Hooters and just
yeah.
getting crazy. But happy to be back, man. Thank you, C2 Wrestling. Thank you.
Oh well, you're always a member here, and you're going for the first ever C2 Wrestling Predictions Championship, the inaugural championship, which I'll do a little bit of a breakdown since it will be a six-way. Myself, Patty V, Snowden, Kevin Ryan, and the honorary Oos Alec, all members of the channel. Essentially, from here on out, we will be doing predictions for every PLE, but the title will be on the line. We used to do it back in the day with our old YouTube channel. Something fun, adds a little bit of bragging rights, gets people on the channel and in the mix more often. We'll do some head to heads, we'll do all different kinds of things. Patty V though, I stunk it up at WrestleMania, and I remember you texting me like, "You picked that, dude. You have two wins. Like, I gotta, I got a redemption arc. I gotta go worst to first. I need to win SummerSlam weekend."
I owe you an ass kicking from our football picks a couple years ago. And so, no, you don't need any redemption arc. I'm here to step on your throat, here to step on all your friends' throats in this whole podcast. It's only my second episode being on, but I'm here to take over, my friend. And I'm here to leave. Like John Cena said he would, but he hasn't yet. I'm here to leave with the C2 Wrestling Picks Championship, baby. I'm coming for it.
Well, if you win it, at the very least, I'll be blowing up your phone. Give me your goddamn picks. Get on this podcast. God damn it. Get on here, Patty V.
Yeah, I will probably be in the middle of nowhere, God knows, like Nashville or Ohio doing working whatever game, but I'll bring my mic with me just
Perfect.
so I can flex that title. Whether it's invisible, whether it's paper, whether it's plastic or metal. Patty V's coming.
One day we will
Yes.
we'll make the physical title. We have the little graphic version of the title, which will be nice to add in the corner of whoever the champion is on their
Put it over my
predictions.
shoulder.
Let's
I'm
not
a
get
shoulder
ahead of
guy.
our let's not get ahead of
I'm a
ourselves
shoulder
here.
guy. I'm not a belly guy. I got too much of a gut there. So let's
Over
go
the
shoulder.
shoulder. I mean, I like the over the shoulder look for anybody. I always loved in wrestling the guys who are able, like Samoa Joe does it, where he puts the title over his shoulder and it just sits
Walk
there.
with it. Yeah.
Oh man, dude, I always loved that. I always thought that was the coolest look. I used to try to do it when I was a little kid and the title would just slide right down.
Yeah, bro, you need some meat on there, like me and Samoa Joe. You need some meat on there. You don't got the meat right now. You're all
Eh,
fit. You're all fit in shape now. You get all skinny in shape, abs. You still don't got the meat on you, buddy.
no,
Pause again.
pre-Paris trip
Pause
me.
again, man. I am. This is man. I'm gonna get roasted for this. All this stuff I'm saying here. Wow.
Yeah, I was gonna let it slide, but there was
There's
some
a
craziness in there. There was
all right.
there's a lot of
Let's
pauses
skip
and
on past
timeouts.
that. There's a bunch of pauses, there's a bunch of all that. No editing on this, but
God no.
just please start it up because this is going well. This is going very well.
Yeah, I can only imagine the innuendos you're about to hit in these next 55 minutes or so. But when we get together, we love to bullshit, but we love to talk about wrestling. There's plenty to talk about. I mean, SummerSlam, yes, a week and 2 days away, but with everything being crammed in, it feels like every time you watch a show, SummerSlam's the next day because it's a 2 week gap. Last week, we had Roman Reigns return. This Monday, we had his promo against Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and then day and a half or so later, cuts a promo on Twitter saying X, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Jay, let's team up as we expected. Jey Uso and Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. We'll talk about the tag match at some point in this conversation because there are some things I want to mention. But I don't want to look past this story, but I can't help but look past this tag match because, like, to me, this is just the quick save of Rollins is hurt. This is our quick pull in case of emergency. I can't help but think about after it, like, are we going to get right away the Braun Breaker Roman Reigns one-on-one match? Are they going to try to save it? Are we going to get Roman finally go for the WWE Championship? Are we going to get Roman disappear for a month to film Street Fighter? Like, I can't help but look past this tag match, and I don't want to because I am excited for the match.
It's a great question. It really is. 'Cause like you said, we don't know what's going on with Roman's schedule. Like we know Cody's in Street Fighter also. Uh, and but like you said to me off podcast just before we got on, John Cena's always filming movies and he always comes back. Granted, is he there every week? No. But we see when Roman leaves, he leaves. Roman goes on his hiatus, he's gone. So again, I know we're not getting to predictions here. I could see two ways this match going. Roman J win, everyone's eating in the crowd, going crazy in MetLife, or they win, but Bronson Reed hits 8 tsunamis on Roman, eight spears from from Breaker, and it puts them all out, puts Roman out for another 5 months because I don't know if he's working Paris, don't know if he's on that poster or if he's working it. It's just Roman. He's a big four guy. He works the big four pay-per-views, and that's it. So it's a great question to see if Punk or Gunther win the championship. Granted, you probably don't expect him to go for that championship, but Roman and Punk clearly have a story, especially when Punk won the match and Roman came out to save him, and the War Games aspect of it from last year. But you also have Cody and Cena. I'm sure everyone expects Cody to win, take the title back. Do we get a heel turn from Cody? And now that Roman's for the most part, a babyface. He's like on that Stone Cold, like just don't give a shit, come wreck shop. So it's interesting to see if he goes after Cody, is he goes after Punk, if Punk beats Gunther, or does Roman leave for another 4 months, come back for Survivor Series or another Saudi show?
Yeah, Survivor Series is like the big key for me because I know they've made it a little bit bigger in the last few years. You had your Bloodline Survivor Series, you had the Punk return. Like, there's been some big Survivor Series, but this year they're going to a baseball stadium. This is going to be attendance wise, probably the most attended Survivor Series. So I'd be kind of surprised if Roman wasn't there. But then you start thinking about who does he face? Like, at some point, we'll get Roman Punk. This quick, doubt it.
If I had to guess at Survivor Series, it might be family versus family. It might be
Yeah.
family versus family again. They're kind of building it up already with. I know we already did Roman versus Solo for the Ulafala, but Solo has his own tribe now. Jimmy's starting to tag with Jacob. It's gonna be war games again. I mean, who you're not gonna have you're not gonna have Solo's crew or whatever. What do they call them?
MFT.
MFTs versus Jacob, Jimmy, and then like LA Knight and like two other people. Just like you could, but that is that gonna be your main seller for your main event match?
Yeah.
No. You
That's a
get
great point.
and they've been I feel like it's always been the bloodline for the most part in the match together. You get Jimmy, Jay, Jacob, and then you add Roman. That I mean, that's gonna sell immediately, but it's kind of a rehash of what we did last year. So I don't think, like you said, they're gonna fast track Punk Roman, but hey, they just did it with Punk and Cena. Literally gave us what, like a 2 week build, 3 week
Yeah.
build of it, if that. And everything right now was fast tracked 3 weeks, 2 weeks, right into SummerSlam. Hey, Cody Cena 2, go right there. Punk Gunther, fast forward right there. Clearly, it was supposed to be Roman Seth, probably. He's obviously out. So now we got to fast track this quick tag team match. Uh, every match for this pay per view has been fast tracked. So you never know. They might just fast track Punk Roman or a Cody Roman. We're not getting to another Mania. We could probably pencil that off for Cody Roman 3 is the main event, be the biggest match in one of the biggest matches in WWE history. So Roman's future is so interesting because, like you said, he comes back and leaves, comes back and leave. I can't even if they win on Sunday or Saturday, whenever the pay per view is, whatever stop they get, I could picture him not being on Raw that next Monday.
Yeah, and I mentioned like kind of monkey wrenches. I guess the biggest one, the biggest domino of them all, is Rollins' injury and how long he'll be out for. Because, well, we still don't know. I mean, we still don't know if it's real or not. I personally think it is. He could be out 2 months. He could be out 6 months. He could be out 8 months. If he's out a month or two, and it seems like he'll be back a little bit quicker, then maybe you kind of drag along this Roman Braun Breaker, Roman Bronson Reed thing until Seth gets back. And then at Survivor Series, you get that Roman versus Seth big one-on-one match, and you just kind of go back onto schedule. You've just delayed whatever story you're trying to tell with each person. You just get back on track. But if Seth is out for 8 months, 10 months, we got to move on. And Roman only has so many matches, but he only does very specific stories. Like it's why it's so interesting because with Roman, we could probably narrow it down to say 4 to 5 potential matches or stories or whatever, where you can't say that about everybody else. Like pretty much everyone's in play for anybody. With him, all right, it's either he's facing Rollins, he's facing Punk, Rollins' faction, put them together. Punk gonna get the Cody match at some point, or go back to his family story, helping Jacob, whatever. That's pretty much it. Like I don't really know what else. You're not gonna get that potential Roman Gunther match or anything.
That's the first match
And
that's popped in my head, man. I'm dying. I'm itching.
oh god,
I'm itching, man.
it'd be great. But that's where it's like his future is so interesting to me because for someone who probably has the least amount of avenues, it feels like we know the least about which way they're going to go, which is a great thing.
No, 100%. But it's what's frustrating because to me, he's the biggest star in the company. Like, right, him and Cody, obviously, but I think Roman, you saw what happened. When he came back Monday night, man, that pop 2 weeks ago, that pop was insane.
I do want to say though, Cody's there every week. If Cody was gone for 4 or 5 months, like
Right,
he would get the
100,
same reactions. That's why
100.
I keep them in the
That's
same
why those
category.
two, they're the Austin Rock of this era right now.
Yes.
And it's amazing to see where Roman came from, 7 years ago to where he's at now. Uh, but it does suck because, like you brought up Seth, whether it's a real injury, whether he's not, hey, he could cash in on Punk on that Saturday or Sunday whenever they have the match, drop the crutches and run out there because there's pictures of him like, walking with crutches. Uh, it's a great the Roman Avenue thing is interesting. Like you said, the least amount of places to go because he's not going to wrestle like a lower level mid carder. He's not wrestling that. He's wrestling Bronson and he's wrestling Breaker and Reed because they're part of Seth's faction.
Yeah.
Granted, I love that we're getting Braun Breaker versus freaking Roman Reigns. Like that's awesome. Like that's beautiful. That's what we need. I hope Breaker pins him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look,
Strap the rocket to his back, baby. Let's get
if
it going. Roman's gonna be leaving in a month anyway. We know that. Cody, when he leaves for Street Fighter, I'm sure he's gonna be pulling double duty. He'll do as best as he can.
if Roman if Rollins didn't get hurt, Roman wouldn't face Braun Breaker for another
Maybe ever.
year or two, if
Maybe ever.
not ever. Yeah, like it's because it's quite interesting with Braun Breaker, and this is why I said we'll get to the tag match Braun Breaker's quite interesting because it's so obvious he is the future. Like he's obviously one of the main guys for the future of the company. You don't want to put those guys in those spots too soon. And that's why, they put him in this faction with Seth where like they're making him look as strong as possible. And it's not even like the early days of Evolution where he's like Batista. He's above that because he's already had a few title reigns. He's already faced some top guys. But you don't want to enter him into that category just yet because you can't go back down because anything back down, the fans will take it as they've given up on him. He's toast, whatever.
Especially how fickle fans are nowadays.
Look at Austin Theory. Like, you know, it's like that they can give up on you.
Yeah, but
And
now he's the most loved person, and
yeah,
they're,
they
they're not
pretend.
using Austin Theory. They just bury him. He doesn't do anything. The storyline with Grayson Waller, guys, 6 months, 7 months ago, you hated the guy.
Yeah,
Didn't want
yeah,
anything to do with him. We've been telling you how talented he was. Hey,
yeah.
we were probably at his burial when Vince got let go from the company. We were there, me and you together at that Raw, and Roman absolutely just embarrassed and buried that poor bastard.
But that's the example, though, of when someone probably isn't ready physically in the match, they may be ready, but from a story
Character
standpoint,
standpoint,
from a
100%.
character standpoint, from a doing your part in carrying of the company standpoint, like Braun Breaker isn't there yet. Now he's kind of going to be fast tracked if Seth is out for a bit. And Roman's only got a handful of matches left. The fact that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are getting it, yes, it makes sense story wise. And yes, it may be because of the Rollins injury. But that's a big honor. Like they could have pivoted some other ways to have Roman still have this big marquee match. For Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, getting the match against Jey Uso and Roman is massive. But to me, it's way bigger if they somehow win. And you kind of buy yourself a few more avenues with Roman and a bit more time. Like it can be, I love the guy, but you can have Jay get pinned here. Roman doesn't even have to get pinned to take this loss. And that's the way around it. You want them to face again. You can set up a big one-on-one or a rematch at Survivor Series, whatever. If that happened, I think it'd be a big shock to the crowd because a lot of people are just expecting Jay and Roman to win. But it'd be like refreshing. Like, all right, this isn't just Roman's back and he's gonna
Automatically get his win, like always.
automatically get his win, and then we'll be looking at what title he's going for.
No, I would love a spear and then right off the top rope, tsunami right into it for the 1, 2, 3. I would love some a little different victory there, and it also gives the two of them a lot of credibility. Then you know Bronson Reed, who's still probably still more of a mid carder than anything. Like we know Breaker's the one who's a possible future world champ, but you saw Bronson Reed lost a lot of weight. He's definitely lost a lot of weight. Looks like he's pretty good
He
shape
looks good.
for yeah, looks very good since that injury when he came back. So you give these guys this massive win versus two of the top four most over people in the company. Dude, that's saying something. And it's going to make the crowd boo the ever living hell out of them. The crowd's going to hate them. You're spoiling Roman's return and beating their to me the most like beloved face right now. Like pure face, Jey Uso is the most loved. So you give them that W, man, and it gives Seth even more credibility for picking the two of them. It's going to give Heyman more promo to talk about. They just go out, get speared, get super kicked, speared, splash, and they lose. Monday, they're going to come out the same, we had them, XYZ, we lost, the typical cookie cutter heel promo. You give them that win, you're strapping rockets to both their backs, and you can put the tag team titles on them whenever you want. You can let Braun go back for the IC title if you want, if AJ beats Dom, or you can let Reed go for the IC title and let Bronson or like Breaker go for the world championship between Gunther and CM Punk. So that's why I think you give them that win, you're opening more avenues for them and doing more for them than if Roman and Jay just get another win that we all expect.
If I had the pen or paper, sorry, pen or pencil and the paper, need
How
all
about a
four.
laptop? How about a
Need,
laptop?
yeah, or the laptop. Yeah,
An iPad?
2020,
Or a
2025.
phone?
The group chat.
I like that.
If I had it, I would have the finish go Bronson Reed is outside and Roman spears him through the barricade, the classic spear through the barricade spot, and that takes both of them out. And it's Jay and Braun Breaker in the ring, and they go back and forth, whatever. Braun Breaker ends up being the one to hit the spear first, and then maybe does the multi rope run spear. And Braun Breaker pins Jay, someone who he's pinned before. So it's like, this is no harm, no foul. You're adding on like Roman didn't get pinned. It saves Roman a bit, but Roman still needs to get that lick back. But it helps build Braun Breaker for that one-on-one match with Roman Reigns if Seth isn't back in the next few weeks or near months. If not, and we get the Roman and Jay win, to me, just Roman's got to move on to something else. If they win on Saturday or Sunday, Roman doesn't need to go back to this. I know he has his issues with Heyman, but that's more so with Rollins.
Yes,
So
exactly.
if Rollins ain't there, Roman may as well be going for the world title, the WWE title, whatever. If they win, then I don't need to see Roman versus Braun Breaker. I know it's a different story in a tag match, but it's lessened its interest for me if that happens.
Maybe, maybe. I know you said that, Breaker hits his like, his crazy spear, like the fast, multi rope run spear. Um, what about he's about to hit it on Jay? Jay's all hurt. He took a tsunami or took a spear already. Roman, I know Roman was talking about the other day how, his family's always been there for him. He, the world when he was world champion, the family always saved his ass. Saves Jay, takes the spear from Breaker. Breaker gets the 1, 2, 3 on Roman. Now Roman looks even more as a babyface. Finally did something he's never done for his family and put himself out in line, which is still clearly a talking point in the family. He's never really apologized to him or Jimmy, never once, or to Sammy. Sammy's still an Oos, honorary Oos at this point, but he makes that save. Get Braun gets the 1, 2, 3. Braun, and then Jay looks at there like, hey, he said Roman saved me, and you finally got that deed back from Roman, and Roman's even more over as a babyface now. And again, it's a tag match, so yeah, he got pins, but it's not 1-on-1. Roman versus Breaker face 1-on-1. Roman gets his win back, but you're setting up Breaker to be a mega star with that win. Roman makes saves the day, still loses. That's how I'm booking it.
What I would be annoyed with the most, I love Bronson Reed. Like Bronson Reed's fucking awesome. I would be annoyed if he's just in this match to eat the pin.
I
Like
agree.
if that's how this goes, like that to me is the most cookie cutter. Like this match could have been on Raw then to me. If you
It's a
just
live event. You did it on
yeah.
a live event.
Yeah,
Live event
exactly.
because you
It
already know how it's going to be. It's going to be a super kick into a Superman punch, get Breaker out. Then you're going to go super kick to Reed. Roman hits his spear. 1, 2, 3, and then again, while we're all cookie cutter about it and it's not good, we'll both be sitting there hitting the yeet with them, hitting the yeet with all of them, and going crazy. But I agree, completely agree. It's more of just like a live event finish. And that's the thing with the SummerSlam, and it goes for a lot of these matches. We don't know how it's going to be because sometimes WWE with these major pay-per-views they go cookie cutter, or sometimes they're going to give you a twist out of nowhere, like Naomi at Evolution, or I'm trying to think what happened at WrestleMania this year wasn't that great.
it was
But
EO winning was a shock.
Io winning was a shock. Exactly.
Yeah.
Io keeping like getting that win. Like we need stuff like that. And
We
I
had the
think
Heyman turn, which was the
the
big
Heyman, yeah,
moment.
exactly. The Heyman turn. The last thing I remember is freaking Cody Cena and Travis
Yeah.
Scott. So,
Yeah.
and I tried to argue. I tried to debate. I was like, come on, like that was bad. Bad
It
on my
was
part.
bad. Yeah, it was
That's
bad.
on me. That's on me. That's on me.
Hey,
But
to
I'm
be
on.
fair though, you do, and I try to do this too, but a lot of people don't. Like I'm doing it right now with what we'll get into in a minute with the whole TNA uh, partnership, a lot of people don't like to see things play out. And Cody Cena, I shit all over it. I shit all over it that night. But I did say while I was shitting all over it, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm not going to stop watching. I'll still be tuned in. I'm not completely writing this off, but I have very low hopes that it'll go out well. It ended up not going out well. But a lot of people don't give it that chance. Like, hey, maybe this won't be as bad as it seems. Maybe it's not as doom and gloom. The Cena Cody finish, yeah, it did not age well.
They got to make up for it this in 2 weeks, in a week and a half. We know it to be the Sunday main event.
Yeah,
I expect Cody to win the title back. It's a street fight now, right?
it is.
It's a street fight. Does that open the door for Travis Scott to come back? I think it does. Granted, I know there's been a lot of bad talk, bad press for Travis Scott, whether it's in wrestling or in rap. With he literally changed the match at WrestleMania. I don't expect Dwayne to come back.
No.
Dwayne, if he didn't come for WrestleMania, he'd come back for SummerSlam. I'd rather just Cody Cena be one on one. We get a finish. I don't want to hear the he. I don't need to hear that at SummerSlam again. I don't. We none of us need that. So I'm hoping for a clean finish. Whether again, to me, Cody and Cena started cooking towards the end of the match. Now it's just is Cody gonna go Cody Lander on him? Is Cena gonna finally make? Is gonna be a double turn for the most part, or do we just get a Cody clean win? Crowley's happy. Cody won the title, and then maybe next Friday they shake hands or Monday. So that was a quick little pivot to Cody Cena.
Well, no, we haven't had you on in a while, so we will actually talk a little bit more about this. I obviously I'm very interested in Cody Cena and I love both guys. But, Cody to me is the guy that you've been building up. I don't think he's turning heel. I think a lot of people are buying into the kind of swerves that they throw out there, the breadcrumbs that they know people will eat, but they don't realize that the breadcrumbs is leading them down the wrong path, and there's other breadcrumbs that leads them towards the correct path. I am confident though that at the very least this match will be better than the Mania match. And it's not because the Mania match was that bad, because it was. I'm not just saying that because of that aspect. I'm saying that because that Mania match was so clear that Cena was figuring out how to wrestle as a heel again. And he had made it a point saying, like, I have to wrestle a different style. I have to do all these different things, yada, yada. And he did that. And he clearly realized this isn't going to work. Like, I can't wrestle like this. This is turn off the TV bad, like boring. In the Orton match, in the Punk match, in the Truth stories, like he's found his lane where like, oh, I can still do these things or I can go this route and I'm still the heel and this match doesn't fucking suck. Like Orton Cena, I really enjoyed. I know some people will like shit on it.
match was very good. On
I really enjoyed that match. And that was like, oh, Cena's wrestling way different than he did at WrestleMania. And he's obviously like very clearly the heel here. That's why, like that alone, before you get to the stipulation, before you get to the stakes, whatever, that alone lets me know the match itself will be better than it was in Mania 41. Because if it isn't, I'd be fucking stunned if it wasn't.
if it's not, that's not good. Your two biggest shows, and your two main headliners matches are not good. I expect. Again, the thing about Cody and Cena is they listen, they know, and they know they didn't put on the best performance. Whether it's because of Travis Scott, again, Cena trying to figure out how to wrestle as a heel, that was his first match. They know they need to come out and put out and get good buzz for WWE after a major event, especially after Evolution, which was probably the best WWE show of the year. You want to keep the ball rolling. Like you're doing good right now, but everyone still has that sour taste in the mouth from Cody Cena 1. Cody Cena 2 better put out. Whether it ends in some crazy way, again, Travis Scott or Dwayne coming back. I'll keep calling him Dwayne until he actually comes back. I refuse to call him The Rock until he actually comes back.
He's
But
been quiet lately. I haven't seen much about him recently.
I think he's being quiet because he has his new
He,
movie coming out in the fall.
and he wasn't getting much good PR when he was talking.
No, his PR right now, the only bad buzz is getting his James Gunn on his tour, his press tour for Superman, talking about how bad he hated, how much he hated Black Adam. And the Brock wants to become the head of DC Studios, and that got James Gunn was like, yeah, that didn't happen, and they brought James Gunn in to take over. So that's the only press I've seen with Mr. Dwayne right now, but he does have a movie coming out in the fall. I think it's like for Oscar season. I think he's trying to get back to like serious acting and not some action movie. So who knows? Who knows? Um, like we said, Cody and Roman are getting ready for Street Fighter, which that cast looks abysmal also. Uh,
I got a question for you.
what's up?
Would you rather?
Oh, my
Would you
favorite.
would you rather have SummerSlam top to bottom fantastic show? You know, we get the Cody win, the match is great. Rollins returns, gets his cash in, whatever. SummerSlam, like we leave SummerSlam like that was a great show. They made up for WrestleMania. Or would you rather SummerSlam is the absolute drizzling shits, but you get a personal apology from James Gunn for what he tweeted you all those years ago?
Man, fuck that. You see me the great SummerSlam. I want a goddamn apology. I'm good. Superman was good, but I still don't want no damn apology for him. Kidding me? No, I don't want to think about him. I don't want no apology. He said what he said, damn it. Apology's not going to fix my feelings and the depression and all the hurt I feel.
For those of you that don't know, years ago, James Gunn told Patty V himself that what you're gonna die alone
Yeah, you're gonna die alone,
and
and
miserable or something.
yeah, you're something miserable. You're gonna die. You're gonna die poor and alone,
Poor and alone, yes, poor and
which
alone.
was still one of the craziest days. Before C2 Wrestling, everyone, we used to do a show called Three Rope Ramble with another host named Danny Frost. Shout out to Danny. We did this at school, just a radio show at school, Three Rope Ramble, best wrestling radio show you ever heard in William Patterson history. Okay, I ran a Twitter for like comic book superheroes, all that stuff. Something happened in one of our acting classes. I tweeted something about I spoiled something for a girl in the class about Infinity War.
Which you spoiled for me as well.
I didn't come out and fully say what the spoiler was. I said he snapped his fingers and everyone disappeared. And the girl was like, "Are you talking about Infinity War?" And so anyway, somehow James Gunn found that tweet. He found the tweet. He quote tweeted me. He sent it out, and I was getting death threats for about a week. People that same day were trying to call the school, get me expelled. It was one of the craziest days in my life. It was funny, but yes, it was very crazy.
Yeah, I was in that class and it was also hilarious just refreshing Twitter and seeing all of these people tweet you out. You'd think Pat was Chris Benoit with the way that people were fucking talking about him.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Shout out my friend Jacob Fudge. He owns a comic book store in Ohio, and on the page, on the Twitter page we shared the account. On the Twitter page, we had his link to his comic book shop. So if you want to go buy merch or buy a figure or comics, people are calling that store, and he had no idea what the hell was going on. 'Cause I mostly ran the social media. He called me. He's like, "Dude, why are people calling me, screaming at me, like giving me death threats?" It was an interesting time. I want to say it was probably what around like 2017. Whenever,
Uh,
whenever Infinity War came out, so 2018,
2018?
2018, that's when Infinity War came out, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so interesting times, guys. Me and James Gunn. So no, I do not want an apology. I'm done with him. Give me a beautiful SummerSlam. Hopefully it's like 80 degrees, 75,
88?
88. Listen, I just want it to be nice, cool out there. I think it starts at what, 6 o'clock, right?
6 o'clock. I don't know, probably 6 or 7.
think I could have sworn I saw six, but again, could be
It
wrong
might be
about it.
doors at 6.
Regardless, I'll be my friend Chris. I'll be my friend
Yeah.
CDC. I refuse. I'm calling you CDC from now on. That's what my friends call you. You're going to CDC.
Well, not just me. You'd be with the rest of the boys.
Oh, of course, of course. I haven't
Yeah.
seen everyone in God knows how long.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't
all
think
right.
you have you met the Honorary Goose in person?
No, nicest guy in the world. Not met. Have not met
That'll
Alex
be,
in person. It's
you
gonna be
guys
a
will have a
beautiful.
nice hug. It'll
It's
be
gonna
a,
be a beautiful hug.
yes.
We talk all the time on Twitter. Great guy. I'm telling you, nicest guy I ever met.
He's
Like
the best.
I've never seen him. He just seems like a beautiful soul.
He is. And that hug, honestly, I may shed a tear just watching like my two friends meet in person for the first time. And that hug, like it's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be
like
beautiful.
a beautiful culmination moment.
Only thing I
Uh,
don't like that I'm the oldest by like a couple of years on everyone. I don't like that.
because we're all old now. When we were in college, it might have been a little different. Now we're all old, so who gives a shit?
Yeah, true. Yes,
We're
that, bro.
all unks.
All right. Heard you want to go into TNA, my friend.
I do, and not just TNA.
Oh, my crossing over. Look, NXT TNA crossover. Me, Alec, CDC podcast. God damn, that's a transition.
Oh yeah. So Eric Bischoff was on the Ariel Helwani show, and this past weekend, Slammiversary. I'm already on the WWE train. Slammiversary happened. I ordered it, did a live stream. You know I love my TNA. I've watched TNA my entire life. I've been through the dog days with TNA. I'm glad to see it back on the rise. It brought a lot of people talking about Slammiversary and the finish and how TNA has their two main champions are NXT talent. And then you have the people saying that this is a one-sided relationship and all this whatnot and whatever. And now it's transitioned into Eric Bischoff on the Ariel Helwani show talking about how long term this is great for TNA and it's working. People are shitting on one booking decision with a very nearsighted mindset, but long term, this is helping TNA. And if TNA gets the right TV deal with the help of WWE, they will, within a year, surpass AEW as the number two wrestling promotion in America, which at one point they were, because there weren't many other options. I feel like there's a lot to digest and a lot of routes that this conversation has to go, but I'll start with one of the basics. Would you say TNA is getting the value and the positivity and the good outcome of a relationship with WWE?
Uh, For the people I see on social media saying they aren't, they're idiots. Just because the two main champions are NXT superstars. They did their biggest show in history, North American history. Like that shows right there. This relationship between WWE and NXT is working amazing. But I also think that these are angles that they're trying to do, like a crossover, not a cross, like an invasion type of storyline they're trying to get. Trick winning the title, I think everyone thought, oh, there's a shock value. Him retaining it, I think they're trying to get some type of big crossover or invasion episode of, maybe TNA versus WWE, some pay-per-view they do. But if you don't think this relationship is helping TNA, you're out of your mind. AJ Styles literally just came out, and who was it? Leon, right?
Leon Slater.
Yeah, Leon Slater. Like the kid literally was jumping for joy because he had no idea AJ Styles was coming out to like give him some rub. Like, do you know what that means for that kid? That AJ Styles, like the greatest TNA superstar in history, came out and gave him a little bit of rub just to come out. Like, no one knew what AJ Styles was going to do at TNA. He comes out, gives that kid some rub. Trick Williams, JC Jane winning. It's giving them more like real stability of being a legit brand because TNA fell off for a while. They had some crossover with AEW, which got them some noise when Kenny was the champion and Kenny had all the belts. But it's not what it was. We see again. I know we're not ratings people and all that, but NXT is beating AEW in the ratings every week. So clearly, there's more eyeballs on there. So TNA crossing over is getting them more eyeballs. I saw someone put a video the other day of a WWE and NXT relationship, and it's all like WWE superstars getting over. As if there has been times TNA superstars have gotten over on NXT people yet. Joe Hendry being at the Rumble is massive for TNA. Massive. He took an RKO. Like he faced Randy Orton. Like, I mean, well, that was WrestleMania, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When I said Royal
He was at
Rumble, my bad.
both. He was at both.
He was at both, exactly. Joe, the TNA champion at the time, having a match with one of the greatest wrestlers in WWE. I don't care if the match went 4 minutes, 35 to an hour. It doesn't matter. And he wasn't fully squashed. He got hit with the RKO, which is, what do they always say? RKO out of nowhere. RKO out of nowhere. And he got beat. And it was perfect. He hit his pose and he got hit with it. You couldn't end the match any better. So if you don't think this relationship is working, you're an idiot. This relationship has been fantastic for both and NXT. It's been great for NXT. So I'm all in on this relationship. I know that was your only question right there.
Yes, I of course think this relationship is not only working, but it is the right thing. TNA has been peaks and valleys. I mean, there was a point where TNA's television was better than WWE's television.
100%. That's when I
It-
was into it. Like when
yeah,
Samoa Joe and all. I know you've been a TNA guy for
for
all
life.
the
Yeah.
ups and downs. You've been
Yeah.
in all the ups and downs. You are the true. If I had to go for any TNA question, I go to you.
Yeah. I've always loved the company. I've watched it my entire life. They got to points where it seemed like TNA was toast. And then even more so when the split with Scott D'Amore happened and this new regime took over. I was worried because Scott D'Amore had TNA hot again. Like that stretch where D'Amore took over, TNA got hot again. And then they got rid of Scott D'Amore and it cooled like instantly. And people were originally skeptical. Like they don't know what they're doing. They got rid of Scott D'Amore. Clearly, they have found this route that latching onto WWE. WWE wants TNA to be as big as possible because they don't have the mindset that Vince had, where it was kill all competition. They now have the mindset of control the competition. They know no one's getting bigger than them. They are the one. Like they were there, like they are the biggest. They won't be overtaken. They will be around forever. Like that is if there's wrestling, there will be WWE and they'll be the number one. Whether you like it, don't like it, whatever. You think it's shit, you think it's great, they're the biggest. They're the most popular. The numbers don't lie. WWE would rather control the competition around them and work with them and basically put a ceiling on where they can reach, but they know where that ceiling is and they know TNA really can't get past that ceiling. And with that partnership, TNA wouldn't even, if they didn't have that partnership, they wouldn't even be in the house to lay down and look at that ceiling. They'd be under the dirt. Like this, they have elevated so much. I tweeted out, Trick Williams, shout out to him, retweeted the tweet or quote tweeted it.
I don't tricky.
And shout out the TNA VP. He liked my tweet as well. The Mets had WWE night and they were putting players on the team, their heads on wrestlers. And Luis Angel Acuna, for some reason, I don't know why, because there were players on Bret Hart, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. Trick Williams was one of them. Now we know Trick Williams is a future star in the industry. Like he's got
Especially
it
after
all.
last night, 100%.
He's got it all. Like he is, we
He just
know
needs
that.
to he's clean up in the ring. That's the only reason why he's on the main
Of
roster.
of course. We know that. The common fan at a Mets game doesn't know that. But Luis Angel Acuna's head is placed on Trick Williams' body. It happens that headshot is the one of Trick holding the TNA championship. I know that seems like nothing. I understand that. I doubt there were really any fans that saw that and they were like, that title looks cool. What the hell is that? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is when you have those fans and you train their eyes and they see, oh, I remember that. Oh, that's familiar, whatever. If they're able to get this TV deal with a solid company and someone stumbles upon it, they're like, I remember that logo, whatever. Oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that person, whatever. Like those little things go a long way. It's literally
How
promotion.
you promote your brand, man. That's how you promote the brand.
Of
Whether
course.
they're one person or 100 people saw realized, you know what? That doesn't look like a WWE championship. Never seen that belt before. Let me Google what it is. Oh, it's TNA, and they're on WWE. Oh, I don't know. I remember TNA from AJ Styles or Samoa Joe or like Kurt Angle when he went there, or whoever the hell. It's all good promotion. And also, I think WWE realized again, it was more when Vince was still running it, Triple H or whoever powers to be in the back there. They saw AEW doing it, and that's when AEW was at its hottest. And they're
Yep.
crossing over with TNA, they're crossing over with AAA, doing all these crossover matches, and AEW was hot. AEW was hot, and they were very very on WWE's toes. Vince got taken out. And now WWE is in partnership with the two companies at AEW that was supposed to like two of the biggest companies AEW had partnership with, besides NJPW, obviously. AAA is now a WWE promotion. TNA's with NXT. It's just a win-win for all of them. And like it's still and for WWE, if you're WWE as the main one, you're kind of using TNA as a training ground for you. Because one day Joe Hendry's contract's gonna be up. And guess where
Jordan
he's
Grace is
probably
already in WWE. She was the
Gordon
first
Grace is
one, yeah.
already there. He's the first one. And we like Joe Hendry's contract's gonna be up soon, sooner or later. He's gonna come right to WWE now.
Yeah, and now
So
you have more people with the sharing of talent who watch WWE and they see that TNA logo pop up and they're like, "Oh, this person's from TNA. Oh, I'll go check that out. I like this person."
exactly. And to Bischoff's comments about when if they get a big TV deal, they'll be the number two in America. I think that's very possible. Very possible with the partnership with WWE. But obviously you have to stay hot because you seen what happened with AEW. AEW started, they were million something views each time. They brought CM Punk over Cody. They lost their two biggest stars and they hurt them. Clearly it's still hurting them. I think TNA and AEW could both rival each other for ratings. Like them three, like two of them in NXT. It's just sure the first year, like especially how hot TNA is, it's gonna be hot right now. It's a longevity of keep doing it. Can they keep the consistency of, I don't know, like 600,000 views or 700,000, 500,000? You know what I mean? That's where I get like iffy on can they keep being that second company for in the first year. I think they could because the partnership with WWE, and it doesn't look like this partnership is going anywhere right now. But in year two, year three, year four, year five, if they still have that TV deal with wherever they have their deals at, can they keep being consistent in that sense and stay the number two company?
I hate to be the what's the word, like the middle ground. I see both sides, the impartial one, but I can easily see both arguments for TNA overtaking AEW or that never happening. One big thing with me that I think is very notable, besides the fact that TNA is partnered with WWE, when you talk about AEW, AEW is very comparable to the old saying in hockey where every game sells out, each fan has season tickets. Like, we know the people that are watching, they're not going anywhere. They have their established number. That's why, like, when people rip on their ratings, whatever, that like 500 to 600,000, like, that is their audience.
Or fans, that's their core.
Yeah, that is their core fans, where it would take something so unbelievably drastic for them to dip below those numbers of their core fans. Like those people will be
They're
there
locked
for
in.
them.
They're locked in each week.
So that's my argument where it's a positive and a negative for the TNA rise. I could see TNA getting, WWE helps them get a TV deal, and you have TNA getting some big numbers. Maybe you get a big crossover. Maybe you do get that AJ Styles match that people want to see. Whatever. I could see that happening. But like you said, it is the stability aspect. I think they could. I think they're well run now. I think things have stabilized and they're figuring things out and they're growing and they seem like they're going to keep growing. The issue is their ceiling may be higher, but their floor is lower. AEW has the median. They have that middle and they're there. And they'll have the show, they'll have it all in where they'll do 40,000, they'll do 80,000, whatever. And then their weekly shows are back to normal numbers. TNA can get there. TNA could get above that, but TNA could also drop below that if they make the slightest bit of mistakes that end up turning out huge. I don't think they will. I think it is a possibility. I think a year is a bit of a stretch because that's quick for, you know, a lot can change in a year. People want to rip AEW. You do the comparison of viewership from one year to the next. That very well could happen for TNA. The original point, the relationship though, we're not having this conversation. TNA isn't sniffing this conversation
No.
without this partnership with WWE. TNA, I love TNA. I've been watching it my entire life. It's been great. It's been bad. They ain't even sniffing. People are talking about do you compare TNA and ROH right now if WWE is not partnered with TNA? That is the biggest
I
like
forget how Reach is even a show.
yeah, that is like the biggest pro to this pairing of TNA and WWE. TNA is now back entering these conversations and getting that respect again. They weren't getting that before this partnership.
And what's good for them is like with this partnership, WWE superstars are going to go there, right? Like once they get released, you got Ziggler there, Mustafa Ali, but now it gives these other superstars. You know what? I don't like because it was for 2 years ago. What was it? It was WWE or AEW, and then AEW you cross over to NJPW if you want. It's another brand for people to go work for. It's another brand for people to go get jobs at
Yeah,
and be shown and be shown.
and it's also established too where people I've seen this happen too for when people say someone leaves WWE or whatever gets released. They're like, "Oh, well, if they go to TNA, that's essentially like still working for WWE because of the crossovers." Blah, blah, blah.
No,
Nick Nemeth has not crossed over.
Off Ali is not crossed over.
Ali has not crossed over. I know Alexander just got there, but he hasn't crossed over. Like,
Hartwell has not crossed over.
yeah, exactly. Like, you can go there
And
and
be and find yourself.
exactly and create your own lane,
Mhm.
whatever, and not be a part of the stories that they're doing of the crossover matches with NXT showing up here and there, whatever.
No,
At
and,
the
and
same time,
I'm sure one day we might get there.
yeah,
But again, also like Ziggler and WWE didn't have a great ending to like his relationship, so I'm sure like they know that, and I'm sure he knows that they probably don't want to cross over. I'm sure Mustafa Ali is like, I'm building myself on my own. I don't need you guys, and that I'm sure Shawn Michaels, Triple H, people that run TNA. They know that. And it's usually people that they see up and coming, Mike Santana, Joe Hendry, Jordan Grace. It's people that it's people that are have never been in the WWE system yet, that they're growing and trying to show who will probably be on NXT sooner than later.
yeah. And my one of my last big things on this, because people were really shitting on the Slammiversary ending, which look, was it world's greatest match? No. I thought the ending was semi flat. I on my live stream I was like, all right, this is how it's going. Like it's about to happen, and it happened. So it was, a tad predictable in that aspect. People also need to realize, I know these people don't watch TNA. I know they don't. Bound for Glory is in October. This legit would be the same if Mike Santana is the guy, which he can be. Say Mike Santana is the guy. This is the equivalent to having someone get their big win at the Royal Rumble when WrestleMania is right there, or at Elimination Chamber when WrestleMania is right there. You build towards that moment at Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory is the spot for either the culmination or ground zero of a story. You either have the official, like, we have risen, we've beaten this thing, or, oh my God, this person just overcame all odds, whatever. It's clearly being built that they are the story going in, again, people not watching, was all about how Joe Hendry and Mike Santana wanted to be the one to get the TNA title back on TNA. They had an outsider holding the championship. Nick Nemeth even tweeting like, "I got no respect for Joe Hendry because he let an outsider win our championship." They're establishing that like us versus them. And now it's that crisis. Both of our titles are out. Then you get a heel like Kazarian, where Joe Hendry had the chance to win, and Kazarian costed him that chance to bring the title back into a TNA guy's grasp just because he doesn't like Joe Hendry and he didn't want Hendry to be the one. Like, it is so clear that's the story. And yeah, the payoff might fucking suck. WWE might be like, hey, we're calling up Trick Williams, so you're SOL, he's just going to vacate the title. Like, that's not impossible. I'm not going to say that's going to happen.
It's always
It,
anything's on the table. Pro wrestling.
exactly.
That suck would be
Anything
fucking horrible.
Eh, anything could happen. The finish could be terrible. TNA has had plenty of moments where they built up to a big moment and it was flat as fuck, i.e. 10-10-10, i.e. Tito Ortiz randomly debuting. Like, there's been some shitty moments. I have high hopes that Slammiversary not only was that a lead up, it was the start of this story's next chapter, and Bound for Glory is that big moment, whether it's a Mike Santana, whether it's a Masha Slamovich, an Indy Hartwell. That's where you get that. We've saved the company. We've got this TV deal now, whatever. There's still going to be the partnership, there's still going to be crossover, but now we can plant our flag and we can grow together, whatever.
No, 100%. I agree with everything you just said. It- we sometimes fall as fans, we fall into like the trap of we want everything right then and there. Like Cody Roman, the first one. Like, how upset you were so upset when Cody lost. Dude, you were heartbroken when Cody lost.
I was devastated.
You were done. You're like, bro, this is bullshit. This
I was
sucks. Blah, blah,
devastated. You
blah.
know I love Cody.
But dude, like, we have to we forgot to realize, like, dude, Cody just got there.
Yeah.
He got there from another company he built. Like, we can't just put the title on this guy beating our main guy. Like, because then everyone would have hated Cody off the rip if he won the title that quickly. And then look what happened. It took a year storyline, and more people got behind him. More people got behind Cody, and it made his story even better when he finally finished it at WrestleMania 40. When he finally pinned Roman, dude, like that that was the beauty of it. Like that extra umph of like, I just can't wait for him to get it even more. I hate that villain so bad. Same, it's like Infinity War Endgame. We were talking about Infinity War and Endgame. Thanos won. He snapped his fingers, killed half the universe. Then you see your heroes finally come back to fight him and defeat him. It's that lead up. You can't just like, all right, imagine Captain America, like Thor went after Thanos, cut his head off. Like, all right,
Yeah.
story's over. All right, everyone, thank you. Have a good day. You know, Granted, we almost didn't have the Cody Roman because of Dwayne. We don't have Cody Roman too because of Dwayne, but everyone at first, when Cody lost that first match, I was like, no, we can't. You need that build up. So Trick winning and seeing how everyone's pissed off, like you said, whether it's Joe, whether it's Mike Santana, who knows? Who else can come out of nowhere in TNA and become the next champion? You need to build villains. You need to build story. You need to build drama. It's what wrestling's always been about, and I'm all for it. Because one step we do get that payoff. Because you know what WWE and TNA are probably looking at. All right, that was our biggest North American show. We can make it bigger now. If we got that, we can make it even bigger now. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see where this relationship goes and who takes the title off Trick.
Yeah. And
Trick
en-
Willie, baby.
engagement at an all-time high. There, I saw people talking about the arena they're doing in Massachusetts. Yeah, it's not the size of UBS Arena, but they didn't use UBS's full capacity. This arena, they will use the full capacity, and they might get a similar number. Like that is quite obvious. I'm a little upset because I'll probably have to work during Bound for Glory around that time because it's baseball postseason. But I'll be tuned in. I'll be making sure I'm up to date with my TNA boys. I'm a little upset because I think it's either starting now. I got to get TNA Plus again because
I'm gonna say that's your thing.
they've had the weekly show for free on YouTube, and I think it's through the summer. So hopefully that TV deal comes soon. But that's down the road. SummerSlam is next week. We're getting Roman's return. We're getting Cody Cena too. We're getting stories started. We're getting stories finished. And we're getting and new C2 Wrestling Predictions Champion. Will it be Patty V? Will it be myself? Will it be the honorary Oos Alec? Will it be the OG Snowden? Will it be Kevin? Will it be Ryan? Will Tommy Boy sneak in and I put a treat next to each person's name or pick and he picks the one? Will Tommy Boy steal the championship
I like that.
before
We
we
should
know?
do that. We
Yeah,
should do
we'll
that before.
get get a
Definitely.
get Sam the dog in the mix and we'll see, pet versus pet.
He just walked by. What a legend.
Let Tommy Boy's racked out on the window
But
ledge,
I
enjoying a
appreciate
nice
you
meal.
having me on C2 Wrestling again. I always love jumping on. I hope the fans like me. They probably don't, but that's okay. I like being the heel, baby. I
All
love
10 of our
being,
fans love you. Come on.
shit, let's make it 12 now.
That's
Hey, baby, Slant Rant started somewhere.
that's right.
And so is C2 Wrestling, baby. That's all
Hey,
that matters. It's all how you grow, baby. And this is why this channel is beautiful. I love the channel. Keep listening to C2 Wrestling, guys. I can't wait to be back on the show next week for SummerSlam weekend. Chris, can't wait to see you next week. I love you. You're the best.
love you, buddy. Subscribe or you're a coward. We're out.